Grotz is the founder and principal at Stephen Grotz Architecture, and he's joining the podcast today. Stephen, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me on the podcast. It's an honor.
Absolutely. You and I, it's great to have you on. The sentiment is the same here as well. You and I met a while back. The work that we're about to talk about, which is the residence on the south end of Lake Norman in Huntersville.
So they purchased the home years ago. I'm not really sure when, but it was kind of a weekend home, as a lot of homes in Lake Norman were at one point. Go back to the house. I think one of the best qualities, and you may be able to speak to this more than me, is you walk through that front door and it's 2 steps and you're in the living room, and then 4 steps and you're on the porch, and then 8 steps and you're just on top of the lake. And that to me was just beautiful. And so I remember walking to that home and being like, wow, there's a lot wrong with this house, but that is perfect. We basically came to them with 2 plans. They were saying, we just kind of want to do a facelift, maybe a little bit of paint, new countertops, a couple of new light fixtures. But we showed them, we were like, well, what if you just made that great room the shape of an eye, a straight linear room, where it's living room, dining room, and kitchen, all one big room with one big, beautiful vaulted ceiling, with one long deck, immediately off all 3 rooms. And they loved it. And I think that's where it was a very simple idea to reshape the plan. That's where the simplicity ended. It was very complicated. I think ultimately they trusted us. They trusted Simonini with this vision. Obviously, the scope really dramatically changed after that meeting. And then, of course, there was COVID. So after that meeting, when they said, we love it, let's go, we literally ordered the windows the same week. We ordered the appliances the same week, and we didn't have construction drawings yet. This was just a sketch. But ultimately, we touched just about every room in the house, moved a lot of walls. The master bath was completely reconfigured. The basement got a facelift, but almost it was, every bathroom was brand new, new flooring everywhere. And Michelle, again, to her credit, did an amazing job furnishing the whole house. Every bedroom, every bonus room, every kitchen and wet bar was just beautiful. And a lot of times when we come back to homes to photograph them, there's some decluttering we have to do, or some, dusting or whatever, staging, just to make the house look as top notch and beautiful as we possibly can. I mean, the homeowners, they just live in this beautiful, like the images you'll see and the videos you see, that's just how they live. They live very minimalistically. It's beautiful.
The lot has a spectacular view of the lake, and the area where the lot is situated is really ideal because it's at the sort of the end of a road, and very quiet, peaceful back there. But it's just a terrific location, and I do love that area of the lake, especially if you do any boating. It's or if you're into wake surfing or that sort of thing. That's a great spot there, and a great area there just beyond their house to do that. And then just a great view there. And of course, listeners, if they're watching the video, I'll have shots of the from the drone of kind of what the lot looks like and the view that it has. But it's just it checks a lot of boxes, doesn't it? That the home, the location, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge. A lot of people come to us and say, should we sell the house and find a new one? Should we tear down and build a new one? Should we renovate? And ultimately, a lot like that, you can't replace it. You make the house work. And so when they come to us with this long list of, well, the house doesn't work in all of these different ways, how can we fix it? It's hard. You sometimes you can't check every box, or you get as close as you can to checking those boxes, but you always come back to the number one item on the list is the view and the lake. And that's the most important box. You have to have that to make everything else work. If the kitchen can't be that extra 2 feet bigger because the setback's just in the way, I can't argue with that view. We are going to make this work. We'll have to make the sink 3 inches, less wide to make that work, to enjoy the view. But it's the most important part, I think, with every project, is starting with a great lot, great views, and then trying to work with those views and how the family lives to, all right, how can we rework this house to best utilize their lifestyle in this beautiful lot? So yeah, there's definitely plenty of site visits where you would just sit and just enjoy the view for about 5-10 minutes before you started a meeting. And even if it was cold outside, it's just awesome. I love that part of the lake as well.
It turned out it was just spectacular. Such a beautiful home, and you and your team did an amazing job. And that's just a sample, one project of many that you've completed that will give subscribers an idea of the level of work that you and your team achieved. Simonini, of course, I want to mention them as well. A highly respected, well-known home builder and GC here in the Charlotte area, and has done some amazing work around Lake Norman. No doubt about that. All right, Stephen Grotz, architecture, Charlotte, Richmond, and beyond. Stephen, thanks again so much. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jeff.